Okay, we're back with another episode of High Rated Edison, and today we have JG Billiards with 1,587 rating versus Ajani Alex with 1,154 rating. So both players quite deep into the top 100. JG Billiards probably in the top 10 with that score at the minute. Opening hands are D Prison, Prisma, Machina Force, Scrap Recycler, and Ocean. So this looks like the deck we've seen JG on before with the Steamroid and the Scrap Recycler, but basically Machina Hero with the Scrap Recycler, Steamroid, Super Vehicroid, Jumbo Drill, Spice. So we'll see how it does this game. Gold Sark, Shire, Foolish, Jane, Trag, and Ryko, so probably Christius one. So they're going to start with Gold Sark now for the recharge. Nice. Set the Ryko and pass. Draw into the D Prison on this side. So going to go with Scrap Recycler to dump Fortress. Yep. Attack in. Yeah, it's going to get met with the Ryko that mills. What was that? Aaron and 2 Honest. Okay. Yeah, not great. Sets the D Prison. Passes over. Draws into the Beckoning. Okay. So Jane coming out now. Jane going to try and get in for 18. That's going to get met with D Prison. Yeah, makes sense. Set the Beckoning and pass it over. Draws into the Dust Tornado. Okay. That could force the Beckoning out in a bit of a weird spot, which is cool. So Prisma coming down now. Probably going to dump Ocean by revealing, Terra Firma. If you've not read this card, you don't ever summon it. You just use it to dump Ocean from the deck to set up Miracle Fusion plays later. So Prisma going to get in now for 17. Set the Dust Tornado, set the D Prison and pass over. Draws into the JD. Okay, and they're getting the Solar Recharge back. This is good. This is very good. In fact, if you were very heads up, if you were JG and you were very heads up and you were reading this was Beckoning, now would have been like standby phase would have been an excellent time to Dust Tornado and actually take out Beckoning without them being able to resolve it. But yeah, I don't expect anyone to do that. So going into main phase, going to go with Solar Recharge, pitch the Shire. They're going to Dust Tornado now, so they do recognise they can kind of make it a bit weird for them. Yes, they're going to Beckoning here. They're going to pick up Honest, JD, and Ryko. Okay, yeah. Draws into the Gauze and the Arcus, mills the Lila and the Charge. Okay, not terrible. Play now is probably just set the Ryko, right? Yes, they're going to set the Ryko. Draws into Steamroid. Okay, we're seeing the Spice. Okay. So Prisma going to dump the other copy of Steamroid by revealing. So okay, not going to bother. But the material, the fusion for that is Super Vehicroid Jumbo Drill, which is just fun to see and say. Ryko going to pop the back row now and mills TT Celestia Lumina. Okay, is that enough? Yeah, it's more than enough Lightsworns now. Yeah, so JD is now online. Going to draw into Pot of Avarice with the JD as well. Okay, this is really nice. They do still have Fortress on this side and they are kind of holding back on that. So JD coming out now. Avarice. Yeah, let's see what Avarice puts back. The Honest, the Lumina, Shire, Trag, and Ryko. So a bit weird to put back the Shire. Because if you'd have left the Shire and an Honest in there, you'd only be one fairy away for Christia. That's if they play Christia. We haven't actually seen it yet, but if you see Shire, you assume they're on Christia. So draws into Recharge Lumina. Okay, nice. JD gonna blow up the field now. Recharge for Arcus, draws into Wolf, and Beckoning Wolf's a bit unfortunate, but the milled Wolf is nice. So milling Wolf and Ryko. Summon out the Wolf. Yeah, can they get to game here? So Lumina, pitch Wolf, summon Wolf is probably the most damage you can put up. That would be 3,000, 51, 72. Okay, yeah, that would be enough. Yeah, so this could just be game if they go for it. Okay. JG Billiards admitting defeat. They haven't actually seen that it's game yet, though, right? So if it's 3,000, it's 51, 61, and this is the highest Lightsworn they can summon in grave. So they haven't actually seen that it's game yet. It is game, but they haven't seen it. But okay, maybe a fraction too quick on the admit defeat. But yeah, that was going to be game via Lightsworn nonsense. Okay, so JG going to get to go first going into this game. So opening hands are Necro Gardener, Dust, Raikou, Celestia, Garroth versus Fortress, Mirror Force, Force, Royal Oppression, Prisma, and Steamroid. Okay, this hand is kind of good. Okay, so Prisma coming out now, dumping Ocean, revealing Terra Firma, setting Mirror Force and passing, draws into Pot of Avarice. Garroth coming down. I forget that Garroth is just randomly huge. Gonna get met with a Mirror Force. Yeah. Maybe feels unnecessary, but we'll see how it plays out. Sets the Dust Tornado and passes over, draws into the other copy of Machina Fortress. So yeah, gonna use, oh, this is nice. So gonna use Prisma to change its name to Cyber Dragon. Machina Fortress, pitch the Steamroid in itself to summon itself. Gonna get him for 17 and then 25. Sets the Oppression and passes. That's going to get Dust Tornadoes. Yeah, it's good. The Dust Tornado there is good, but you are behind and you're struggling. So let's see how they decide to play it out. So we're going to set the Bluff, Avarice, the TT, and the Raikou. They draw into the other copy of Oppression. Jesus. Okay, Prisma going to dump the other copy of Ocean now, just thinning the deck out. Going to get into the Raikou. That's going to target the Force, and Force is going to get to interact with a hand here. So eking out the Celestia and milling the Thunder King as well. Thunder King, okay. Deck's interesting. Deck's definitely interesting. Going to pitch the Force now, summon the Fortress. That's going to get met with a Torrential. That feels like it was a bit unnecessary. Going to set the Oppression now and pass over. Yeah. It feels like you maybe could have saved that until next turn. Seen what the draw is and decided on your plays, because you've seen your opponent's hand is not great. So actually, saying that, yeah, Cyber Dragon. So playing into the TT has actually blocked them from using the Cyber Dragon. So they're going to set the Necro and pass. Scrap, Recycler, discard in for Fortress. Fortress going to get in. Draws into Plague. Okay. Yeah, this is rough. So Cyber Dragon coming down now. And that's going to get met with Royal Oppression. Avarice now does have enough targets, though. So, yeah. And you can keep the Necro as well. Okay, this is nice. Actually, this is nice from Alex. See what they pick up. Can they find a way through Fortress? Wow, recharge Celestia. Holy. Oh, there's no way. Draws into Shire JD. I mean, the JD's not live, and even if it was, they've got Oppression, but like these solar recharges have been unbelievable. Sets the Plague. Yeah, so Fortress going to get into the Plague. Draws into the Gauze. Okay, Gauze is good. Gauze will out this Fortress. So, yeah. Gear Frame coming down now, grabbing the Force. Okay, they're going to do... Oh, they have to do it there. Yeah, I've just realised how low they are on life. Yeah, they have to do it in response to the Gear Frame. Yeah, so JG going to destroy the token with this. Okay. And equipping the Gear Frame. I never think equipping's worth it. I think I say this every time, but there's always just something that like your opponent can do to like spot remove a fortress. Maybe not here, but like compulse and all that kind of stuff. So it picks up the rotor. Rotor's good here. Yeah, because rotor is just Stratos. Oh, and then TTs clears the gauze. Yeah. Yeah, still gets the ad, and Machina Force would get in for game. Machina Fortress, sorry, would get in for game if they didn't have the Necro. Cool. Sets the Raikou now. Passes over. Draws the Bottomless. Summons the Prisma. Targets the Fortress. Yeah, okay. Gonna pitch the Garroth from hand. Yeah, I guess it's just like the strongest thing. And they're gonna set the Bottomless. Milling, yeah, not great mills. Draws into the Cyber Dragon. Okay. Yeah, there's plays. The Garroth was actually definitely the right hit there, because even though they have Bottomless, if they pick up like MST or something to interact with the back row, yeah, everything else kind of just gets oppressioned. Although Shire is pretty big now, so this is 1, 2, 3 different Lightsworns, so it's gaining 300 for each, so it's 16 at the minute. Okay, and it's going to mill in end phase. What is it? 300 attack. Oh, sorry, it's getting 900. Can't do math. So it's 13. Yeah. Thought it was 400. End phase milling 2. No Lightsworns there though. They really needed those two to be Lightsworns, so this was big enough. Okay. Gonna get in for some damage now. Yeah, gonna set the Dust Tornado and pass. Draws into another recharge. JD coming out now, that's obviously going to get met with oppression. Cyber Dragon going to get met with oppression. And yeah, and Alex is going to scoop it up. Yeah, go out on your sword, may as well. Okay, especially as those are cards that your opponent knows that you play. So going into game 3 now, Alex is going to get to go first. Opening hands are Future Fusion, Machina Fortress, Scrap Recycler, Starlight Road, and Heavy. Wow, this is a hell of a hand. Holy. Just in that it's like Future Fusion with Starlight Road is crazy. This dump Fortress. Yeah. Heavy Storm. God, this is good. Celestia, Necro Gardener, Charge, Lumina, Solar Recharge, and Raikou. Wow, this is also amazing. Oh, wow. Jesus. Okay, so we're about to see 2 of the top 100 players on the ladder go into a game 3 with 2 really good hands each. Wow, this is a this is a cool one to watch. Okay, so Alex is going to start with Charge. Yeah, that feels right. Mills Gauze, JD, and Dane adds Garroth. The Garroth Lumina combo. Gonna Solar Recharge the Garroth now. Draws into Cyber Dragon, Raikou, Mills, TT, and Dust Tornado. Interesting, we actually see they're on 2 Raikou. A lot of the Lightsworn decks now are going for like the Jane heavy Raikou light build. So they're basically swapping out the Raikous for the Janes, in that Janes get over Glad Beasts and like Black Wings and all that kind of stuff, and Raikous that typically aren't really going off anymore. Like, you're not really playing into a Raikou as much as you had to in previous kind of formats before, like the meta decks got so fast. So interesting to see it though. So Lumina are going to pitch the Necro Gardener, bring out the Garroth, head to end phase. Lumina are going to mill 3, Garroth going to mill 2. Unfortunate they don't hit a Lightsworn in the last 2 and get the extra draw, but that's still decent position to be in. Picks up the Force on this side. Okay, this is really good. Gonna go into Future Fusion now. Dump in the Ocean and the Fortress. This is for Gaia. Yep. Pitching the Force, bringing out the Fortress. Dump in the Scrap Recycler and the Fortress to bring out the Fortress. Gonna go to battle. They can save one of these. Yeah, I mean, they're always going to go for the Lumina anyway. Okay, this feels wrong. With a Celestia in hand, this does kind of feel wrong. Although I guess what they're saying is Cyber Dragon's going to carry. Yeah, okay. Actually, I think Alex is right. Sets the Pro Set heavy, sets the Starlight Road. Okay. Draws into Card Trooper. Oh god. This is... yeah. Cyber Dragon now. Yep. Big 3k Chimera Tech. Battle Phase getting for some damage. Yeah, wow. Every time we see a Machina deck, a Machina variant get strong in the meta, it just gets countered so hard by Cyber Dragon. Even like the Ancient Gear and the like Jinzo OTK deck, they're just so susceptible to like Cyber Dragon into Chimera Tech. Okay, let's see how the rest of it goes though. So Raikou set and pass over, draws Book of Moon, sets that, draws into Shire. Okay, they're not doing too bad in terms of Lightsworn names. They're okay. They're at 4. What they need is a way to JD, although actually, I'm saying all of this, but Starlight Road is still a pending threat right now. So Chimera Tech going to get flipped face down. I'm going to flip the Raikou up to take out the Future Fusion and stop the Gaia coming down. Mills, Dust Tornado, Honest, Pot, which is a bit unfortunate. Sets the other Raikou, we'll try again next turn. Oh, just into the Miracle Fusion now. That is kind of big. Okay, just gonna say, yeah, I guess it's only bringing out Gaia, but they're gonna go for the Starlight Road line here. So Heavy Storm into Starlight Road, gonna negate the run Heavy Storm, summon out Stardust Dragon. Then they're gonna Miracle Fusion, banish an Earth and a hero for Gaia. Okay, so going to battle. Stardust is going to try and attack the Raikou. It's going to target the Stardust, which is going to negate the effect, stop the mills, but is not going to come back because it was summoned off Starlight Road. Gaia going to get into the Chimera Tech. Pass over, and they picked up Recharge. How are we still letting this happen? Okay, let's see what it gets. And I'm still confused because we're into game 3 now and they're playing Shire seemingly unironically and not for Christia at all. I mean, there's a universe in which we've just not seen the Christia, but it doesn't feel like it's this one. It feels like they are just on pure Lightsworn with a Shire, which is strange. So they're going to tribute the Raikou for the Celestia now. Mill 4. Mill's a Plague. Yep. Battle Phase going to get him for 23 now. Okay, they're not going to... yeah, they're getting low on resource actually. Now I'm thinking about it, they are getting low on resource and Card Trooper to do anything has got a mill. So maybe holding the recharge is right. Okay, Gear Frame coming down now. Gear Frame going to grab Force. Send Force to the grave to special summon out Fortress. Going to equip now. Going to attempt to get him for some damage. Probably going to get Necro. No, they're not going to Necro. Ooh, okay. Yeah, they're really holding this Necro. Okay. I thought the play was basically to like Necro there and then draw recharge, and like if you hit a Celestia at some point, then you know you're just almost going to win this game. Okay, so picks up a D Prison, going to recharge now, draws into Lila, Arcus, Mills, Avarice, Honest. Okay, yeah, these Honests would be really handy in hand, but okay. Lila going to take out the Gear Frame, which is nice, and it's going to mill 3 and end phase, set the D Prison. They are getting low on cards. Hits the Wolf though, and the final JD. Have they even got anything to get back these cards and graves? So they've gone through 2 pots already. I wonder if they play 3. They've gone through a Beckoning. They could just be on 2 pot 1 Beckoning. I know the PPG winner for day 1 was on just triple Beckoning. that was all they were playing to kind of recur the JDs. Okay, we're about to see this whole Lightsworn deck though. So Wolf coming out now in defense. Yeah, makes sense. Draws into Dust Shoot. Yeah, that's going to be useless for a little while. Going to attack into the Wolf. That's going to get met with Deep Prison, and that is just game, right? They drew the heavy for good measure. There's no way. There's a few ways I can clear it up, but yeah, it's just, at this point, it's just heavy. Yeah, heavy summon the Arcus or the Card Trooper. It would have been nice if they'd have summoned the Card Trooper and let us see the last 3 cards in deck to see if they were actually on, like, what the ratios they were on for beckonings and pots and stuff. But yeah, that is going to be it. Okay, really cool match. Yeah, wow. That game 3 was very, very high level Yu-Gi-Oh! I thought 2 really good players, 2 really good hands starting off. This Machina deck is just such a killer. I mean, I'm wondering if JG is like, the Steamoid stuff I don't think is that serious. I think they just like play it and then they'll side it out. Like I don't think they're keeping it in all games. But yeah, just seeing how this deck can just put up fortress after fortress, which is such a difficult card to out, and then if you're targeting it, it's ripping your hand apart. Like, it's a very sticky monster to try and kind of play around. That partnered with like the heroes, which provide Machina the bombs that they don't have otherwise, makes it such a good deck. Lightsworn, yeah, I mean, any game you start with charge and recharge is going to feel really good. So, and it was cool that we got to see like the infamous Lumina Garoth combo. So that was really good, and yeah, they've just managed to pilot it quite well into a victory against, you know, one of the top 10 is very impressive. So really good show from Alex and from the Lightsworn deck, and kind of showing us why Lightsworn is still a pretty terrifying deck in Edison format, why it's winning like the PPG recently, why it's doing so well on ladder, because this guy's top 100. They're probably there with Lightsworn, and they are beating players in the top 10 with it. So really impressive. Yeah, great replay to watch.